Are you thinking about hiring a real estate agent? Let's talk about the difference between a real estate salesman, real estate broker, hiring the listing agent, and how this decision cost Reddit user your Destiny 02 the home of their dreams. What is up, everyone? It's Bryan Castro with castro.com, and today we're going to be talking about whether you should hire a real estate salesman, a real estate broker, the listing agent, and how this decision cost Reddit user your Destiny 02 the home of their dreams. So first of all, let's talk about the real estate salesman. A real estate salesman is most realtors. It's someone that went through the school and got their certificate and are able to help you buy and sell real estate. It's the average realtor you come across in every day. Then you have brokers. Now, brokers can either be a managing broker who supervises salesmen or a non-managing broker that just has their broker license. To get your broker license, you have to be an agent for a longer period of time. It's going to vary depending on your state, and they're going to have more education. They've got to pass a second test. Now, keep in mind that this doesn't make them a better negotiator or a better realtor. It just means they know the rules a little bit better. Sometimes, not always, because there's some salesmen that still know the rules very, very well, right? Now, let's talk about the pros of hiring a broker over a salesman. Like we just said, they have a little more education, they have a little more knowledge of the rules, usually, not always. But on the other hand, and as a con, when you're working with a managing broker, they are the boss. So if anything goes wrong when you're dealing with a real estate salesman, you can escalate it and bring it up to their broker. If anything goes wrong while you're working with the managing broker, that's it. You can't bring their boss into the situation. You can't go to anyone higher, okay? So in the same token, let's talk about hiring a listing agent. Now, if you're a buyer and you hire a listing agent, or if you're a seller and your listing agent brings in the buyers, you're now in what's called a dual agency situation. In a dual agency situation, your agent is now no longer your agent. They are a neutral middleman in the middle there, making sure everything goes through. So when that happens, you're losing a party in the transaction. You no longer have an agent on the other side that you can reach out to. You are limited to this one agent. And again, if anything goes wrong, you can't really reach out to the other agent if there's only one. So by having more agents involved, it makes the whole transaction more bulletproof. So in my opinion, you should always try and hire a real estate salesman, not a real estate broker, and you should always try and avoid a dual agency situation, because this makes it so that if anything goes wrong, you can escalate to managing brokers, and there's more parties involved, meaning there's more parties supervising the transaction, making sure it's going to go smoothly. Now let's talk about Reddit user your Destiny 02. In their transaction, they hired a managing broker who owned the brokerage to do the sale of their home. That agent then brought in a buyer that got accepted. So they were in a dual agency situation with a managing broker. On top of that, they were buying a home contingent on the sale of their home. So their home had to sell so they could buy their next home. And what happened was their agent went MIA. They're too hard to get a hold of. They could get a hold of the office secretary, but they could not get a hold of their agent, and the deal fell apart. Why did it fall apart? Well, when the agent was missing, they couldn't escalate and get a hold of a managing broker to come in and save the transaction. They also couldn't reach out to the buyer's agent to have them kind of carry the transaction and get it closed. So because they hired this person that they couldn't really replace and they couldn't do anything to save this deal, it caused all of their move to fall apart. So in my opinion, when you work with an agent, always go with the real estate salesman, always have an agent on each side representing the buyer and the seller. If you need any more tips, you know what to do. Call Castro and I'll talk to you soon.